You serious?
Yep. Yep.
No, wait, tell me your Daily Show origin story.
So they were looking for a new correspondent.
Okay.
I'm in London, right, doing the Edinburgh Festival every year.
Okay.
So they say, put yourself on tape.
Who said this to you?
They were looking for a correspondent from the world, right, for the first time, not from America, from outside of the borders of this land. And so there were a bunch of people in London who just got us. As a British person, I'd love to criticize, but, game recognized game. India, what about if we call it something different? So a bunch of English comedians have been asked to put themselves on tape. Then I think I'm never going to hear from them again. Then they say, oh, they want to meet you. So you can. So I think fine. I've never been to New York before. This will be my free trip to New York for 36 hours. So I flew over here, stayed in Midtown, went to Applebee's for a meal. Thought this must be like a quintessential American diner, Applebee's.
I love how you're ticking all the boxes of every immigrant who comes here.
That's right.
It's Midtown. Mm-hmm. You think best location.
That's
best.
Right.
You can't get better than this. Mm-hmm. Hell's Kitchen. What a great name.
It's true.
You know what I mean? This probably ironically named.
Yes.
Yeah.
This must be where everything is.
And then Applebee's.
Midtown.
Yeah, and then you go to Applebee's or one. You're like, wow, this seems like fine dining.
Yeah.
You're just ticking all the boxes. And then?
So then, I went to the building, auditioned for John.
Did you know who Jon Stewart was?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. It wasn't on in England, but I knew of it. It was very much the gold standard for me of what political comedy in the world could be. It was even back then in 2006, despite not being on TV in England, its presence and influence was still felt.
All right, got it.
So I was thrilled just to see it. So then I'd read a chat,
one of those
green screen
chats that they
exactly, and they said, when could you start? I'm like, I live in England, so I don't have anything here, and I was supposed to be doing the Edinburgh Festival that summer. So I went back to England, picked up 2 bags full of stuff, and then came back here in July of 2006, and I've barely been back since.
It's so crazy how similar the stories are. It's almost like they have like a specific because
way
mine
of recruiting you for CIA.
because mine was like similar. It really feels like that. It really feels like because mine was like similar but slightly different. Mine was I got a call from John, right? I was in London. I just started like one of my first tours ever. But it was like a tiny tour.
Yeah.
But I was doing all the small cities, so from London, Brighton, Newcastle, you name it, everywhere. Big ones, small ones, everywhere.
That's very tiny.
And no, but I'm saying like
whole entire.
Listen to what I mean by tiny. It was like 200 seaters, 150 seaters. Does this make sense?
Venues.
Venues tiny.
He's not talking
Not
about
the cities.
population size.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
He's not saying Chipping Norton, a village. No. 120 people. But an amphitheater. Weirdly. Yeah.
So my tour was tiny, is what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
So I get a call, don't know the number. I'm standing in Harrods. That's why I'll never forget this call.
Standing in Harrods.
So I'd heard about Harrods.
Again, quintessential.
Yes.
Immigrant experience. I've literally never been in Harrods in my whole life.
This man. Everyone told me, you got to go to Harrods.
No.
Everyone was like,
why?
Because they're like, it's the store. And remember, this is before Amazon.
It's a mall.
Yeah, but this is before things like that existed in that
Yes,
way.
You can find anything.
They said, you go to Harrods and you can find anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that mean? They said, just go. Just go to Harrods. You very nicely done.
Sorry.
So I go to Harrods.
Yeah. You can find anything.
I'm in the.
You can't afford anything.
You can't. I'm in the lower level, one below the -1 level.
Wait, so there's different levels?
Yeah, and they all have different things. So clothing, perfumes, food.
Okay.
What you know?
International arms dealing.
Misogyny.
Yes. Well, that's pumped in through the vents. That's historically that's everywhere.
So and then my phone rings. I was staring at an underwater scooter. I will never forget this moment. I was staring at it thinking, how in my life will I ever be able to afford one of these? Because it's impossible. I didn't even think about where I would use it. I just went, I need this in my life. Mm-hmm. It is an underwater scooter. So you have like the, what do you call those things? Where you put the bulb over your head? No, you know like when you wouldn't scuba dive.
Yeah.
You'd wear that, thing.
Yes.
Old scuba guys would wear it.
That was an
the
underwater.
one that used to be brass.
Yes, that thing. But now it's on a scooter. So you go down on the scooter and then you have that on your head and you
That's
just ride
the
around.
impulse buy.
Wait. So it's that brass helmet, but it's not brass anymore.
It's not brass.
Okay.
No, because it would be too heavy.
Yeah. So
I think we've moved past brass. I think the moment that we've got underwater scooters, we fixed the brass helmet situation. I think one followed the other.
so
It's not. This thing's going to be great. If I can just.
oh man. So it's
Okay,
it's,
so no, wait.
Yeah.
I can't move on from this. You have to describe the contraption.
Yes.
okay. So now imagine a scooter, or what I guess in America do they call it, a moped?
Done.
Whatever, this little thing,
Yes,
like a
yes,
Vespa type
yes,
thing, like
yes.
me, that
Yes.
thing. Okay.
That
Now
was a
imagine it has
road
no
runner. That
wheels.
was a road
No
runner.
wheels.
That was not a scooter.
No, that's how they sound. Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roadrunner is meep. There's a difference. So
God,
Did you spot the
I
difference?
wish he was wrong, but he is right.
Did you spot the difference?
I wanted that to be a distinction without a difference, but actually that was.
Okay.
that's the story of Eugene's life. So it's a so now imagine that no
moped,
wheels,
yeah.
right? But it has a little propeller underneath. Okay, so sort of like a jet ski, but not. But you can't see the motor. So that's it. So you sit and you ride like that. But then it has a contraption that
There's a
comes from the
question from the
front
class.
of it. That
There's a question from
brings.
the-
Wait. I'll explain
Yeah.
this part. So there's a contraption that comes over the front of it, and then there's a dome that goes over your head.
Okay.
With the glass bubble that you can look through. So all you got to do is get in there. You don't wear any scuba gear. And it has oxygen tanks on it, and then you just ride around.
So does it have weights to weigh down to the bottom
It
of...
is weights. The whole thing is weights. You can't like put this in your backpack. It's the size of a scooter.
So how would you get into the water with it? So do you...
These
do
are
you-
not things I thought of at the
No,
time.
all he knew was I want this in my
Yes.
life, despite the fact there's no room or practical use for it.
or anything.
Right.
I come from Johannesburg. We don't even have the ocean there. I was just like, I know I need this in my life.
I'm in the market for an instantly depreciating asset. To call this thing an investment would not be fair. You are setting fire to money.
To your money.
To your money.
But I didn't have the money. I was just staring at it. Then my phone rang, and it was John Stewart. I didn't know John Stewart. Unlike you, I didn't know who he even was. And then he came on, and you know John better than anyone. Like, John does not take himself as seriously as people take him, right?
Yeah.
So he calls me, goes, hey, can I speak to Trevor? I'm like, speaking. He says, hey, are you speaking to John Stewart? I host a little show. That's what he said. The exact phrasing was, I host a little show in America called The Daily Show.
That joke only works if you know what the Daily Show is. Otherwise, it just seems
Yes.
like a description.
Because this was
wasted
the
on you.
big... So
Just
I
like
was,
the underwater scooter.
I was just
Totally
like...
wasted on you.
I was like, no, that was not wasted on me.
Did
I
you
was-
buy it?
I couldn't.
Let's get back to that.
Okay, sure.
Let's get back to that.
So then John goes...
I'm not done with that either.
So John
Same.
goes... So John goes, I host a little show... I'm John Stewart. Then he's like, I don't know if you've heard of me. I was like, no, I haven't. And then he said, his phrasing, I forget it sometimes, but he goes like, he said something to the effect of, nor should you have.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
that sounds right.
He said, John Stewart, I don't know if you've heard of me. Then I said, no, I haven't. Then he said, no, should you have? And then he said, I host a little show in America called The Daily Show. Then I was like, oh, I think I've heard of that. And he's like, as you should. As you should have. And he's like, we saw some of your stuff. I like your stuff. I was wondering, like you, he's like, what do you do? Would you like to come to New York?
Yeah.
And now, first of all, I come from South Africa. I'm like, this 50% chance this is a scam.
One.
This is somebody who's just trying to get my details. I know how this
Never
works.
mind the underwater scooter.
No.
Uh-uh.
He's going, what is your
obvious
credit card
scam on the
details?
phone right
Where-
now.
He's barely listening to the guy. He's more just.
I'm
looking at this
still reading
scooter.
the
Exactly.
specs
Yeah.
on the thing while he's talking. Then he said, can you come to New York? And I was like, not. Then and I was like, what's that? He's like, we want to hire you. You're going to come to New York. And I was like, oh, no, I no, thank you. He's like, I'm sorry, what? And I'll never forget. He went, I'm sorry, what? And I said, yeah, I've got a tour that I'm doing now. Luton, like all these places.
Chipping Norton,
Like, I'm out here, baby.
Squawksbury.
I said the same thing. I said a version of that when they offered me the job.
You did?
My manager said, yeah, they want you to do the job. And I said, I can't do it. I'm going to Edinburgh.
You see?
And he said, yeah, you're not going to Edinburgh. You're going to
Oh,
go. You're gonna
you had
go-
a manager.
you're
That's
gonna
what
go-
saved
You're
you.
going to go do this job. Otherwise, I was thinking, yeah, but I got an 80-seater room at the
Guys, do
stand.
you know how hard it is to book Edinburgh?
Yeah, I got a room.
Your internationally acclaimed satirical TV show has to wait,
I
baby.
don't think you understand supply and demand in Edinburgh in August.
And your review written by Copstick.
Oh, wow.
What a deep cut, Eugene.
Wow. You got a Kate Copstick reference.
Man, we've made it. So that was me. And then John said, wait, then he paused and he went, tell me about your life. Who are you? And I was like, I'm a comedian and I'm doing
I'm
comedy
just a
now.
man staring at an underwater scooter, wanting it to be mine.
In a landlocked city.
Remind me,
Far,
who are you
far
again?
And then he basically said, well, if you ever change your mind and if you come to New
Wow.
York, let me know. And he said, wait, but I'm just confirming. Are you saying no? And I said, yeah, but with all due respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was, and I'm glad I genuinely didn't know. I wasn't like, it wasn't me being like, I don't have time for this. It was more like, oh, you
Yeah.
and your little show. I also have a
Yes.
little show.
Yes.
We got to prioritize our little shows in
Yes.
life. So thank you for the call.
Yeah.
I'm going to carry on with my life. Had I known that he would have brought me much closer to that underwater scooter
So much closer.
than anything else, that wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is relatively similar. Then, other than so, when did you find out what that show meant?
I was more worried about, did anyone come and help him at the store?
No one.
Okay.
No one came and helped. No one came and said, so do you need any? I didn't look like I could buy anything in that
Yeah,
store.
I think Harrods staff are pretty well trained for
Racism.
whether you can.
Oh.
Not race. I mean, again, I
Classism.
think that comes through the vents with the classism too. That's all there.
No, I actually
think
think- I
what
would
they're
say in
looking
Harrods-
for is Saudi money.
Yeah.
I think, or Michael Jackson moving through it when
or even like
But they
oil
did Michael Jackson dirty there, so
compound.
let's not go
they
there.
did Michael Jackson.
You know the story about how they sold him all the
Uh-huh.
cheap knockoff stuff? And they were
Oh,
like,
that.
he just has money, he's just going to take it. And he was like, that's pretty, that's pretty.
That-
They were like, he doesn't know the difference. And they just
Interesting.
Sold
Yes.
him everything.
That
They did
is
that
not
to Michael
my,
Jackson.
My takeaway from the flawed life of Michael Jackson is not that he was scammed out of some purchases. I think we would get to that, but I would probably work through the abuse allegations and the history of music before we got to contractually it felt
Buying-
like Harrods let him down.
Buying a fake Ming Dynasty vase. Ironically made in China as well.
Wow. So wait, okay. So now let's go back to your world. So now you get brought in. So
Yes.
now you come in immediately, and
co-
that's it. You
I
start
come
the
in and
Daily
start
Show.
work immediately. So I don't know if
This
they
is
did
so
this with you.
insane.
When I got my stuff, I came back. My first day in the office. I think I've found out since then this is a very nice thing that they would do. They would try and get you on the show straight away. So you're not hanging around too long, watching, thinking about what it will be like. I landed back here, exhausted. Went to the office. They said, you're going to be on the show tonight. Like, wait, what? And so the whole thing then moved very, very quickly. And all of a sudden I was in. In retrospect, I see that is a very kind thing to do
Yeah,
for people to get
yeah.
them in quickly.
Yeah.
So you're not overthinking it.
Essentially, I think it's like the same tactics that a drug gang uses. When you're flirting with the idea of being part of the cartel, they get you into a deal as quickly as possible so that you can't now back out.
Perfect analogy.
I did.
Wait. You have to explain to us. You said no at the shop, right?
I said no. Yeah.
So how long before you say yes? And what makes you say yes?
So this was, I don't know how long it was after that. I'm bad with time in that way. Maybe 6 months. I don't know. But it was much later. I'm coming to New York to do my show in a small little theater. Because remember, I'm on my trajectory. I'm nailing it, babe. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
John contacts me again, basically goes like, I heard you're in New York.
Oh, wow.
Then I'm like,
no excuse now.
I'm like, this guy,
yeah.
yo. Now, I still don't. So here's what I have to explain about this. First of all, I didn't know what the Daily Show was because we didn't get it in that way in South Africa. But more importantly, I had seen what John did, and I've told him this. I'd seen it, but it used to air on CNN.
Yeah, that's right. The global
international edition.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
The global edition.
Yep.
So what I saw was Christian Amanpour,
Yeah.
Richard Quest, news from Hong Kong, news from India, news from England, Then this guy would come on TV, I assumed drunk, because he was reading the news